Hello, and welcome to a new Let's Play series. This is Northstar, for those of you new to my channel. This is Blade, of course. A little bit about myself. Hold on, where's the... No, this isn't muted. Alright, sorry, the game volume was completely missing. I'm like, yeah, it shouldn't be missing. There we go. For those of you who new to my channel, I am disabled with long COVID. It sucks. This will sometimes make it harder for me to focus, but I seem to do alright sometimes with these videos on the days where I have the energy and I'm not pushing through when I'm exhausted. But putting a buffer on videos, making multiple videos on the days where I'm doing okay, you guys don't see as much of a regular pattern as my recording is. I'm here. I believe the way this is pronounced is Tovarishis. That's actually the Russian word for comrade, which, by the way, or more accurately, companion. That word is mistranslated, and I think it's because comrade is a harsh sound that makes people afraid, but one of the alternate translations of that word is companion. So next time you see some movie where they have Soviet characters and they're saying comrade, replace it with companion in your mind and see if it doesn't sound a little gentler. Because Tovarishi is a word, from what I understand, for some YouTubers who actually speak some Russian and such. It's a word that's more closely related to like grandfather or grandmother or good friend or fellow. It's a word of affection, and comrade does not describe it. Um, But yeah, I'm here, my companions, with a new campaign. It's been a while since I played this game, so it'll take me a little while to find my feet again. I did do a multiplayer session, which should be the first video on the playlist for this series, but and occasionally I'll intersperse some multiplayer sessions when I have a friend who can do it with me, but mostly it'll be these. And they're really parallel. I thought there was a continuity between single multiplayer, but doesn't really seem to be. Welcome, adventurer, to Mountain Blade Warband. Before beginning the game, you must create your character. Remember, then the traditional medieval society depicted in the game, war and politics are usually dominated by male members of the nobility. That does not mean, however, that you should not choose to play a female character, or one who is not of noble birth. Male nobles may have a somewhat easier start, but women and commoners can attain all the same goals, and in fact may have a much more interesting, if more challenging, early game. I'll start off with the male character. I am male, and I've never really been able to fit myself into playing female characters. You were born years ago in a land far away. Your father was. Uh. Um. Some of these things do affect your traits and such. Should be worth noting. I had a game a while ago. I did this single player. I thought about trying to carry the save wouldn't work. Exploring the character would work, but I figured it'd be more immersive for you guys to start with a brand new character. If this campaign peters out, maybe at some point I'll export this character, and if I do another one, bring in that character. A little Easter egg for those of you who watched the first campaign, and a little way to get a little higher power level, because books that you read get reset when you do that. It's an easier way to get your skills all up to 10 quicker. Although apparently you can do it just through a lot of grind, but it's a lot of grind. You also care of currency and stuff. Anyways, your father was, I think, a veteran warrior. That'll probably give me some combat stats, and it's a little more interesting than just being an impoverished noble. As a child, your family scrabbled out a meager living from your father's wages as a guardsman. Okay. Veteran warrior expected something other than a guardsman to the local ward. It was not an easy existence, and you were too poor to get much of an education. You learned mainly how to defend yourself in the streets, with or without a weapon in hand. You started to learn about the world almost as soon as you could walk and talk. You spend your early life as um, craftsman's apprentice. I think we give engineering skill. I don't even remember what that does. A shop assistant, trade skill, and more interesting in some ways. Page in nobleman's court. That's something for the nobility. As a boy growing out of childhood, you apprenticed to a wealthy merchant, pick up the trade over the years of working shops and driving caravans. You soon became adept at the art of buying low, selling high. It's important because if I want to make some money early on, trade routes are a great way to do that, or just buying stuff when the prices seem low and then selling it elsewhere when the prices seem to be a bit high. Um, it's also good for at times I'll need to pause the recording, take a moment to rest my long COVID to recharge my brain. I can check some market prices and see whatever town I stopped at. If I was a town, if the prices are, until I get a sense of what prices are high and low again. I wish there was like a thing that would say this price is high, this price is low in the game. I don't remember there being that. You soon became adept at the art of buying low, selling high, and leaving the customer thinking they got the better deal. Then, as a young adult, life changes always does. You became squire, university student. Universities were very expensive this time. Although it would probably be a way to get some higher knowledge. Uh, but maybe as a shop assistant, character was saving up some money. It's worth noting if you're a craftsman's apprentice, apprentices were often paid next to nothing. It was considered that we're gaining skills. So maybe working in a shop as an assistant, you'd actually save up more money. Could do squire, could do a university student. And let's make it a squire. The distinction felt sudden to you. Somewhere along the way, you become a man, and the whole world seemed to change around you. When you were named squire to noble at court, you practiced long hours with weapons. This is kind of how someone would get into nobility in medieval society. Learning how to deal out hard knocks and how to take them too. When by the time you're an adult, it's too late. You'd have to get something like becoming a squire, and then you might manage to become a hedge knight, and then eventually gain a bit of land, become a minor noble. You were instructed in your obligations to your lord. Most nobility is hereditary, but occasionally people clawed their way in or fell out of the nobility, and of your duties to those who might one day be your vassals. In addition to learning the chivalric ideal, you also learned about the less uplifting side, old warrior stories of ruthless power politics, of betrayals and usurpations, of men who used guile as well as valor to achieve their aims. But soon everything changed, and again, keep saying, but soon everything changed. You decided to strike out on your own as an adventurer. What made you take this decision was uh, wanderlust, I think. That's why I heard check some other series in this to see how other people did this game. See if there was any room. Fortunately, some huge channels probably be hard for me, especially your friendly neighborhood leftist. I'll probably with some people just saying that. Think not social justice warrior, but more commie. Except I'm not a commie, but it's a closer term to what I am. I'm a democratic socialist. Well, in a medieval game like this, there won't be much room for politics, but I'm sure some people hate me just based on that. And these well-established channels with 500,000 subscribers, whatever, it's gonna be hard to eke out. But yeah, the word here is wanderlust. I don't know why that was hard for other people to pronounce. Wanderlust, like wanting to go out and see the world, which seems a perfectly good reason to want to go out. Well, you know exactly what caused you to give up your old life and become an adventurer. You're not even sure when your home became a prison, when the familiar became mundane, when your dreams of wandering have taken over your life. Whether you yearn from some faraway place or merely for the open road and the freedom to travel, you can no longer bear to stay in the same place. You simply went and never looked back. Become an adventurer and ride to your destiny. Want me to quit without saving. I'm not sure if this allow, I forget the save system if I can multiple saves, but I like to have backups in case of like save corruption in games, especially older games like this. In case of bugs. Now enter your name, distribute your tribute skill, and weapon points. Click on various elements in the screen to learn about how each one will affect your character. It's been a while, so I might check some of these. I'm not really, well, in some games I've saved scum at times. I don't really like doing it for these Let's Play series. I like to be more immersive, and it's never really been necessary in this game, to my experience. Iron Flesh, you increase hit points. For each point, you only gain, well, 2. It's a little more than a 4% increase in durability, so it's actually a lot more than people think. Throwing damage, power throw, power draw. You can use more powerful bows and increases bow damage, but the key thing is you can use more powerful bows. People underestimate that. I would assume, yeah, power draw can't exceed a third of strength. So to get level 3, you need 9 strength. And some of the best bows, if I remember, require level 3. Weapon Master, make it easier to learn weapon proficiencies. Increase the proficiency limits. Limits go is 60. I guess, I don't know if that's for 0 skill or 1. 100, 140. I guess as I'm at 140 limit, or 100 right now. 180, 220, 260. Could be it's 20 without a level. You can see, oh yeah, the base attribute for each strength, agility stuff. They're actually organized in order. Intelligence, charisma, strength, agility, intelligence, charisma skills. Leadership increases the max number of troops you can command. It increases morale, which lets you not feed the troops as much. Like variety of foods, reduces wages. People underestimate leadership skill. Prisoner management. Leader skills are things you personally need. There's some party skills, like engineer, which you can have your companions, your tovarishis, provide. Improve construct siege equipment. I don't think I've ever done that before. And fight improvements more efficiently. First aid. Heroes gain percentage of hit points lost in a mission. Surgery. Mortally struck party members to be wounded rather than killed. I'm assuming this applies mainly to the higher level troops. I don't know if companions can be killed. Maybe. Party healing speed is increased. But yeah, those are some. Inventory management increases inventory capacity. So inventory management, pretty important. Prisoner management, very important. Leadership, important. People underestimate all of these. I think you get some hyper aggressive players. Oh, so it's cool to just kill stuff. But I remember having a good time with killing stuff as a horse archer at times, especially in the arena when I messed around with that. I start with 3 leadership. This background, that's interesting. If I increase charisma by, no, it has to go up to 12 to exceed that. All right, definitely want at least 1 prisoner management. Intelligence. Every point to intelligence immediately gives 1 extra skill point. The following skills cannot be developed beyond a third. Blah blah. Oh yeah, persuasion is a personal skill. So yeah, personal leader skills, I think you need to invest in. Definitely want at least a point in persuasion. And intelligence will give me more skill points, so let me go higher than that if I wanted. Maybe later. Intelligence-based stuff. Inventory management? Yeah, probably. Having to offload inventory stuff. Shield, that's very important. How do I not have that as if I was a squire? Definitely want to level shield. Reduces damage, improves shield speed, and importantly, coverage. And athletics. improves running speed. I hate being slow on foot. Shield, athletics, and riding are all skills that are very important if I remember. All agility based. Take another point intelligence for more early skill and strength because not only does it add to hit points, it lets me go higher in stuff like Power Strike eventually. Or Iron Flesh. Yeah, shield. It's hard at very low shield levels to make good use of shields. Easier to learn weapons proficiencies though. This should let me level them up faster, I think. But there's some foot missions, so I'll take athletics for now. So let's say I did shield, athletics. I think I took a point in persuasion. Not even sure that was immediately necessary. You know what? 9, 9, 7, 9. I might redo the skill points because shield, athletics. Didn't invest enough in those. Horse archery. Reduces damage accuracy penalties for archery and throwing from horseback. Or riding. Enables you to ride horses higher difficulty, increases your riding skill. No ability. Persuasion can wait. Now think about it. I definitely need a point in prisoner management. So I can take prisoners. I'll take riding. I'll get horse archer later, but riding will allow me to be fast enough I don't get caught. Right. And I'll need some. Oh, archery and crossbows are different skill sets. Throwing. Oh, I already got 45. Maybe I'll throw javelins from horseback. That's something was historically used quite a bit instead of bows. Yeah, I'll invest in throwing. My name, Northstar. Easy, simple. If I later export a character after this campaign and want to bring it back, it'd be easy to remember. You need to have exactly the same character name, so just your character's face. Well, I never liked this. Oh, nice grizzled looking character. Maybe I want him to be a little younger than that, though. He's supposed to be young. He still looks grizzled as heck even at this age. Just hair color a little. Interesting. Make it lighter, darker. A little darker. He is kind of young. Hair gets lighter as you get older. Sometimes less pigmentation produced. By the way, my education is biology, clinical research, medical sciences. That sounds like a lot of things. That's because I went to grad school, got stuck in a rural area, was not able to get to where there were jobs in biology, so later worked as an EMT. I was trying to become a physician. So clinical hours, EMT, hospital volunteering also, just doing what I could to try and get to medical school, studying for the MCAT. Did very well in MCAT, but still wasn't getting to med school, so I ended up going back to grad school. I already had a graduate degree in biology, and then back to graduate school for a couple more degrees. One that was supposed to help me become a physician, but I was hedging my bets because I couldn't afford if that didn't work out. Say I didn't get good enough grades. So I also dual degree. That was something that was supposed to help me work in like pharmaceutical industry. Very pragmatic degree with excellent connections. And then I was getting straight 4.0, so I was definitely going to actually be able to make it to become a physician. The other degree that hedged my bets wasn't really necessary, but it didn't hurt to get have 3 grad degrees. But then when I was very close to graduating, I got long COVID, became disabled, wasn't able to finish my last classes, wasn't able to thus finish my degrees, and my life sucked since. But I'm trying to at least have some source of income if I can get my YouTube to that. So let's hope. Anyways, you heard about Calradia, a land torn between. But yeah, the biology. So you hear me say little snippets like, that's not how horses work, or that's not how food works, or something. Like, I mean, maybe not food. The game mails it okay, but I mean, other than you can feed your crops nothing, your troops nothing but grain, and they won't get malnutrition. But there's bits I know about the natural physical world from my training as a scientist. You heard about Calradia, a land torn between rival kingdoms battling each other for supremacy, a haven for knights and mercenaries. Well, yeah, because all these warring kingdoms, cutthroats and adventurers. Like the warring kingdoms period in China. I wonder if they have a game that's of Mountain Blade that's like that. I know there's like Total War, Five Kingdoms, or whatever the heck it's called. There's like a one that's about the warring kingdoms period in China, but I wonder if there's a Mountain Blade about that period. But yeah, I played Total War, by the way. Not as good as I used to be because my reflexes are slowed by long COVID, but at least in single player, I can pause and organize things. I'm also not as good at this as I used to be before. You'll see. Haven for knights and mercenaries, cutthroats and adventurers, all willing to risk their lives in pursuit of fortune, power, or glory in this land, which holds great dangers and even greater opportunities. You believe you may leave your past behind and start a new life. Good for a character with Wanderlust. Speaking of Wanderlust, that starts with W, makes me think of Wildermyth. Check out my Let's Play series in that, by the way. It's cool. It's just something thematically reminds me of that with this. Anyways, you feel that finally you hold the key of your destiny in your hands, free to choose as you will, and that whatever course you take, great adventures will await you. Drawn by the stories you hear about Calradia and its kingdoms, you um hmm uh do, 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 do. I think the Saranid Sultanate, if I remember, there's some valuable trade goods in Saranid lands, and people are like, oh, you have to start. You do not have to play as whatever kingdom you start in. You can. I personally prefer the Swedian troops, their play style, but I can start running trade routes in Saranid lands or just adventuring and then make my way to Swedia later. Just not accept any land holdings in the Saranid Sultanate or anything. And that's what I'm going to do. Go to Cherise. There's money to be made there. You come with a caravan, crossing the great desert to the east of Calradia. The Bedouin guides choose your route carefully, leapfrogging through treacherous dune fields and across empty gravel plains to low-lying oases rich with orchards and date palms. Date palms, good trade good, but your troops will have a tendency to eat the date palms. There's no way to market off limits that I know of. The dates, not the palms, trees. They don't eat wood. Your great fear was that the caravan might lose its way and perish of thirst. The small bands of raiders who hovered just out of bowshot, waiting to pick off stragglers, were oddly a comfort. At least water could be no more than a day's ride away. It was a great relief when the mountains came into view, and on the evening of the following day you crested a rocky pass, and in the distance could make out the sea and the towers of Cherise, silhouetted against the sunset. I'm sure there's some Orientalist bullshit in the way they represent this, but whatever. You're exhausted by the time you find the inn in Cherise, and fall asleep quickly. However, you wake before dawn and are eager to explore your surroundings. You venture out onto the streets, which are still deserted. I won't be reading everything, by the way, just this intro. It's kind of cool. All of a sudden, you hear a sound that stands the hairs on your neck on end. The rasp of a blade sliding from its scabbard. So yeah, I'm not quite as quick at. Was there? I need to review the controls. Well, I don't remember controls as well as I used to, but also like blocks and stuff. There's timing. It's hard for me to do that stuff quite right. Let's see. Key things. WASD, right? Action F. Kick is E. Toggle web modes X. Already rebound nearby soldiers to U. Just because I didn't see anything else bound to that and I didn't have time to find a really great key, I may change that. Drop weapon G. Sheath weapon backslash, or is that slash? God, I never remember which is which. It's especially hard for me now with COVID. Shift, zoom, view, output, fit. What is that? Ampersand? God, what's that thing called? No, not ampersand. This, the little squiggly line. First person view, R, toggling it. Probably go into it for combat here. Yeah, orders, backspace is view orders. So I do know, coming about this game, that it's important to develop a understanding of, oh, come on. If it does that too many times, the game will crash. Ah, anti-aliasing shadow quality. I'm not sure I need ultra high. I don't need any lag spikes. High is fine. I don't want to go below that. And texture detail. The textures actually aren't that detailed in this game, so I'll leave them alone. Auto exposure, depth effects, instancing. Instancing? What does that do? Grass density? Always found this annoying anyways, distracting. Turn it down just slightly to 90%. Too much grass density on the fields. Makes it hard for my brain to focus on what I'm trying to do. Realistic shadows and plants. On the plants? Let's turn to quick. I'm sure my computer can handle this, but you never know. I don't need it heating up like crazy. That lowers the laptop's life. This is on a laptop. Somewhat capable one, but tree detail high, tree decay distance 100%. I don't need to have subgrade. Character detail high, shadow detail. Slightly reduce the detail in the character shadows. Or ragdolls unlimited. I wish there was I'd like to limit it to like 30. If there's any situation where it goes over that, it might actually cause issues if the game gets really buggy. Bloodstains on. Cool. Combat block direction. I feel like I should get used to doing this by bounce movement. Control attack direction. Lance control. Set to easy manual. Actually raises difficulty. But I found the automatic. I remember it's kind of obnoxious. Damage to player. Half. 3/4. Combat AI, average. Campaign AI, average. Combat speed, normal. Slower. Wait, that lowers. I guess I can leave it. I set this to always. Show attack direction, yeah, sure. Cool. I might regret the block direction thing. Probably need to waste the bolts, but improved their proficiency in crossbows at 33. Are you all right? Well, I guess they're alive anyway, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure. I can say the same for the other fellow. It's one less thief. Well, maybe you can help me out with something. Let's talk more inside. Right here, we don't know who's listening. The merchant takes you to his house. Once inside, he stands by a door for a while, checking the street, and finally convinced you're not being followed, comes near you to speak. This reminds me vaguely of Marwin, which, by the way, some point on play, I just got to go back and there's like a fixes mod that contains bug fixes. I'm also used to disable attribute and skill limits in that. Gotta remember how to revive all my settings on that. Yeah, let's save this. I haven't saved. Wait, save as. Oh yeah, Northstar. It's fine actually. Call this. That's a fine name. Now let me explain my proposition. We've always had brigands driven by banditry, by war, debt, or love of violence. They've been getting bolder, leaving their camps, venturing into town looking for unwary prey. The watch commander tells us it's because of all the fighting on the frontiers, fewer men to keep an eye on the streets. Yeah, during times of war, brigands would take off. But I'm not sure what to make of that. It seems to me that the most logical explanation is these bandits have an ally inside the walls, like maybe the watch commander, who helps them enter a notice and helps them identify particularly tempting targets. Last week, you see, they took my brother. I don't know what my brother was thinking, a lad from a prominent house, out alone after dark in times like these. I suppose you were too, but you're a stranger here and didn't know how bad things would come. He had no such excuse. He's family, what can you do? Blah, blah. If you don't protect your kin, then people start thinking that you can't protect your investments either, and I can't have that. No, the game will soon send word about a ransom, but I don't care to pay it. So here's my proposition. Looks like you've had a bit of experience with the blade. More importantly, you must have a bit of fire in your belly. You wouldn't be coming to cover you to seek your fortune. Gather a party, track down these bandits to the lair, teach them a lesson they won't forget. I murder them all. Maybe capture some if you kill them with, quote, kill them with blunt weapons in their capture, and you can even recruit them as soldiers then. If you have prisoner management, teach, which I did invest a point in, teach them a lesson they won't forget, get my brother back safe. In return, you earn my lasting gratitude a bit of silver. What do you say? You can also sell them as slaves. It's less ethical for one, but for two, it's often better to have more troops if you can manage to recruit them. Though you do have to feed them while they're prisoners. I am interested. You won't be able to do it by yourself, so give me 100 dinars. Towards that, if you try and take on the whole world single-handedly, the hunter will become the hunted. I'll warrant you first want to round up a group of volunteers from the villages around here for looking for more interesting work than tongues. So are hauling water, hauling water. My waddle. I start to say my long COVID brain. They'll follow you if you pay. Yep, it gives me some money. Consider in advance. Right. Taking your first quest. You can view your quest log queue anytime. Speak with them in the tavern after you got 5 men. Oh, tab exits out to. I didn't know that was the key for that. It's map control stuff, isn't it? Where does it say that tab just exits out of the area? Backspace. Oh, leave location. Cool. Oh yeah, where's the bloody music? Did I turn this too low that the game won't even? There we go. 3 or 4 minutes. If I minimize too much, it'll crash, so gotta be careful. This game has probably like a memory leak issue. 13 looters there. Just check my inventory. What's paused? Got some smoked fish. It's a relatively cheap food. It's a bit of priority morale if I had anyone I was This equipment sucks. Looks like the bolts are generated at least after that fight, though maybe they don't do it again in the future. Sway bat hours. If I buy some better equipment, I could hunt these looters down, I think. But yeah, that's now being the Overland map. Go quick to move your party. Time will pause if you're not moving, waiting, or resting. To wait, press and hold space. Town of Cherise seems unremarkable. You hear the occasional grumble in the marketplace about the price of everyday items. That's an indication of the prosperity of the location, by the way. I remember that, but there appears to be a reasonable amount of goods for sale. You see the occasional band, building, shop, or cart, but nothing more in the ordinary. You see the banner of Solon Hakim of the Sharid Solnate. That's telling you who currently owns this location. If I screw around, things go to hell with that. And I end this campaign later. That's one reason if like the whole world's getting conquered. But someone I don't want to fight later. Or a faction gets wiped out, that I'd rather not. The populace is indifferent to you. That's their opinion and the location. At least the tournament will be held here soon. That's a way to make some money. Waiting here in the town costs money per night. But, well, what was I thinking? Go to the marketplace. Visit the armor merchant. This is the trade screen. Hold on control. Click an item to quickly purchase or item or sell it. Yeah, I can hunt down those looters if I just get some slightly better armor. Now I remember having extra horses. They can be used as essentially pack animals. In that having your encumbrance basically will just slow your party on the strategic map, among other things. Goes up with more stuff in your inventory, heavier stuff, but it'll go down if you have extra horses, which, yeah. So you can put together kind of caravan. I think having members like soldiers also lets you carry more stuff, but they cost money to food. Horses, not so much. Alright. Pricey stuff. I don't really need anything super expensive. An arming cap. A step cap. Skull cap. Battered Nordic helm. That's pricey. And can get a sturdy leather jacket or thick worn robes. Worn robes give leg armor, which is especially important when fighting from horseback. So let's see. If I buy the skull cap, robes are better for cavalry, and they also weigh less, so they'll slow you down less when you're on foot. Thick worn robes, which provide less body armor, but more leg armor than the Jorkin. They weigh less. Kerrigan leather boots. Kerrigan leather is usually pretty good stuff. It's light, provides good protection. Some nice black boots. This light leather boots actually provide less protection for a higher price compared to these. So yeah, Kerrigan leather is good. And sturdy leather gloves, maybe. Bit pricey, the gloves. Probably can't afford that. Let's see. Be able to sell off my jerkin. This. I have to pay pretty much everything I have just for this. All right, well. Must pay 457 dinars. Wait, I don't. Oh, I only have 170. What the heck? Oops. Thought I had more. Right. Never mind that. Wait. Ooh, these boots are expensive. Good, but pricey. Where's the stuff I sold before? Pay 100 dinars to just upgrade my helm. What was I wearing before for boots? Tired leather, 13 leg armor. Alright. Wow, I really am poor. Poor indeed, brother. Poor indeed. Alright. Guess I'll just buy the skull cap. It's good to have armor in your head. Maybe I can get a better sword. Arms merchant than this rusty sword something. So yeah, some people like raid a village early, and it's kind of ruthless. You can do that to advance, but it'll be fine. I'll go take on some looters in a sec. Cracked Nightly Night Shield. Nightly Night. Yeah, it's Butchering Knife. 23 swing damage, 16 thrust. Can't block. Yeah. Grab a boar spear. It's a polearm. Gives some range. Fighting from horseback. Oof, it's pricey. Or cudgel. Good for taking prisoners. Sledgehammer. It's not the best. Throwing knives? Butchering knife. I'll get a better sword later. Let's grab the cudgel. You know what? I just get these are all way too pricey. Never mind. I'll get a cudgel off the looters. I'm sure. Horse merchant. Even a lame sumpter horse. 104. This would be more armor. Same hit points. Less maneuver than my current horse. Courser is a good horse, but yeah, I can afford that. Goods merchant. Right. So, grain. In terms of feeding parties, cheap as heck. Cabbage is even cheaper. Bread's pricier. Improves morale a lot, but some of these other things can be, bought and sold, like cloth, flax, pottery. Let's just buy some cabbages. I'm going to get some volunteers and having cheaper food to mix in with the fish will be advantageous. Alright. Probably do this looters, then maybe I'll spend some time in the arena. Save. It's your money in your life. Know some moves or run you through. Not afraid of you a lot. Fight me if you dare. Should be fun. Just stay out of range. I don't even see them. Where are they? Oh, I can see a map here. It's like a min map. I see. Cool. So I'm headed in a straight line for them. There they are. It's hard to do horseback archery without any skill. So, shot typically 1.8. Improved your proficiency in crossbows. Them waste their throwing stuff. Oop. It's hard to try and shoot. They'll break up with the faster ones getting further ahead. This will make it easier to take them on. So this is more than just... Oop. Missed the shot, or... I don't think I reloaded successfully. Crossbow proficiency improved. Kill the looter. Spent a little time riding around doing this. Could also pick a cudgel up off of one of them. Would help me take prisoners. Crossbows are not good for prisoners, obviously. Oop. Aim too low. Oop. Game doesn't always like moving and shooting. This is a good way to improve my crossbow proficiency. And there's a guy I killed before. Delivered. They are hitting me occasionally with things they're tossing. I think it's the stones, but they should eventually run out of stones to toss. Nice. Once I've softened them up a bit, this way I will probably charge in the sword. Hardest shot. The more you improve your skill, I think. Your proficiency. But yeah, I don't even have to really aim, just fire into this big crown. I'm going to hit something. Which is historically how archers often... It's bullshit of, like, aiming ability being so important when firing to big crowd. That's more fantasy than reality. Archers would often get in these big formations and just fire into crowds of enemies and thin their numbers. It's more pragmatic. Spend less time aiming, you can fire more shots an hour. Or a minute, rather. Oop, that was a miss. Headshot. No, not a headshot. I'm also going to run out of bolts eventually. Probably should have packed more. Got a second bolt item instead of a shield. Can I access my inventory here? Ones I've slain might have interesting, useful stuff. Yep. This is way better in the arena for leveling up my skill. I should gain some renown from just killing those guys on my own. 4 damage, dead, 30 experience. Don't know why I'm not getting a horseback riding skill. That's not proficiency. That's a skill, not proficiency. That's right. That's why. Nice. Going for the headshots of the last few bolts. Looks like this guy's running. Horses don't do great on. Maybe I should just let him run. Why could I take him prisoner? I'll let him run. Not even gonna catch up with him. It's gonna be somewhat hard to hit from horseback, but club. Or yeah, the crossbow should be on the field. Looks like it didn't have an extra bolt. Nope. Bolts. Why can't I grab the bolts? Unable to take that. Battle 1. Oop. Tab to leave. I guess the rest ran. 2 routed, 11 killed. Didn't manage to grab a club and take more prisoners, but whatever. Crossbow skill. Stones. Buying price 1. If I wasn't stone near city, I wouldn't bother. Bunch of knives, clubs, hardened woolen cap. Their equipment is garbage. Large bag of stones. Not nearly as good as much as I'm skilling. But I can sell those in the city, even if it's only for 1 dinar. So. Horse instantly regenerates its health, it looks like. Didn't manage to take any prisoners. But character skill increased level 2 now. I took 1 damage. That explains why I couldn't take the bolts. It's because the battle was already over. But apparently, I probably pulled the bolt out of like the guy's arm or something. That's my guess. There, let's work on my intelligence for now, because it gives extra skill points. There's a lot of skills I need. Horse archery. That'd be useful if I go into the arena. Trade. Reduces trade penalty. That prisoner management helped. Oh yeah, I know what persuasion's necessary for. It's necessary to convince prisoners to join you, isn't it? Well, I can wait. First I have to get some prisoners. Horse archery, and I'm still leveling up very fast. Crossbow skill, I need. Trainer. Huh, I have a point trainer. Oh, so yeah, 0 is at levels 0 skills. So that right now, 4 experience per day is added to other members of the party. Who's level slower, so level 1 soldiers I can train. Nah, I started with that. I didn't put points into it. Pretty sure it is persuasion. Javelins. Yeah, I'll focus on horse archery and throwing, and I want to be able to use javelins effectively from horseback. Alright. Ah, the 2 remaining looters are traveling to Cherise. Cool. Marketplace. Assess the local prices. You overhear discussions about the price of trade goods. You listen closely, trying to work at the best deals. What? Oh, time passes while you do this. As a prime member with the highest trade skill, 1. 1? I thought I had more trade. Found the following. Grapes here and selling at Rivaden would be 12 dinars per. Leatherwork would be 3. So grapes. Fortunately, people eat them. I don't know my hero eats. Maybe literally the only guy in the party who doesn't. So I could personally run some grapes. Sell off these stones. They're garbage. Might sell more elsewhere, but it's hardly worth my time. A rusty hatchet. Chipped hatchet. A club. Thought about switching into this to take prisoners. You don't have to visit villages if you capture prisoners from looters and such. I'll probably just buy a better club later. 24 dinars I'll receive. There's only 1 grape for sale? 1? That's hardly worth my time. In this case, pretty sure these weapons will sell better at the weapon merchant. Maybe the hardened woolen cap sells for something. The wrappings. They're the absolute garbage like this. I'll just keep selling. Armor merchant. Oh no, it's all 1. Okay. Oh, I got 1 more dinar for the nomad armor here than I would have. Okay. Still has those Kerrigan leather boots. I think I might almost be able to afford them. Let's see now. If I sell off this stuff. Falchions. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can buy some Kerrigan leather boots. Slight upgrade to my equipment. And I guess I'll take a round in the arena here. It's a nice way to finish off session for you folks. If you've not seen this before. Good day, friend. If you come to watch tournaments, you came in vain. There won't be a tournament here anytime soon. What's he talking about? It literally says there's a tournament starting soon. It's tournaments. The old tournaments here? Yes, you should see the place during one of the tournament fights. Everyone comes, the crowds become mad with excitement. Anyways, they said there won't be an event here soon. There isn't much to see except there's an official duel every now and then. Of course, we may have melee fights almost every day. Tell me about the fights. Fighters and knights get bored waiting for the next tournament, so they invented the training melee. It's a simple idea. Fighters jump in the arena with a weapon. There are no rules, no teams. Everyone beats each other until there's only one fighter left standing. So having fun. Is there a reward? There is, actually. Some of the wealthy townsmen offer prizes. If you can beat 3 opponents, you earn 5 dinars, 10 dinars for 6, 25 for 10, 60 if you can survive. Beat enough to be, well enough to beat 20. Last man standing, 250. Can I join? You'd have to be out of your mind not to, of course. The meta fight is open to all. I'll hop in because it's a way to gain proficiencies and a little money. At the beginning. Start with random equipment, though. Oof. Beat 1 opponent. It's better when I start with a shield. A two-handed weapon like that, at least when I don't have much skill in two-handed. Oof. I got... Jump in again. That went badly. I got swarmed. Staff. I've had great with successes with staffs in the past. It's definitely not a problem with the staffs. More an issue with my character skill. I'm gonna beat 2 opponents. You gain experience in this. It's a nice thing. Staff counts as polearm. Kicking doesn't work so well. At least not yet. There's a veteran fighter. Yep. Being stubborn, I should probably... Ooh, nice. Bow. Now this I'm good at. Just look for people rushing you. Because they love to rush the archers. Darn it. Got 1 kill. 1 kill. For what's worth. Gaining experience to leveling up, though. From this. Let's see. The proficiency is 73, 78, 83. Let's see if they've gone up after this next fight. Should have. I want that bow. Didn't get a bow from it. Nice. 3 opponents being. Forgot you can't actually get the arrows from the archers. They can beat 6 opponents, 10 dinars. A little bit of money. There goes my shield. There. That was a good fight you put there. You managed to hit no less than 6 opponents. Yeah, and I did. This was 73, so I gained one level, one hit experience. Not much experience, not nearly enough to be worth it. But a little. So. Alright. Pressing tab once. That's the trick. You can walk around the streets. There's sometimes quest givers on the streets and such. Let's see. How much for the grapes? 78. Yeah, that's not going to work. Can't even afford the grain. Sometimes at the tavern, there's cool stuff. Traveler, caravan guard, and there's the merchant. Greetings, friend. You look like a kind man who do well know me. I travel a lot all across Calradia and keep an open ear. I can provide information you might find useful for a price, of course. Can you tell me about this land? Rival kingdoms which can neither manage to live in peace with their neighbors nor completely eliminate them. As a result, there's some right to the bitter wars. Opportunities are endless. Tell me more about these opportunities. Kingdoms will pay good money for mercenaries if they're engaged in a war. If you've done a bit of fighting, speak with the local lords. They'll probably result in being offered a mercy contract. So if you have a bit of renown. However, the real rewards come if you manage to become vassal to a king. A vassal can own villages. Last time I played this, I ended up with a tiny fishing village near Braven, castles and towns, and get rich with the taxes revenues. And then later a castle somewhere else, but they're like scattered around. It becomes difficult to protect them all. Wish there was a way to relinquish control or swap. Normally only nobles of the realm own land this way, but in time of war, a king will not hesitate to accept one who distinguishes himself on the battlefield as a vassal. Grant him the right to own land. To own land is not unheard of for adventurers to renounce allegiance to Calradian king altogether, declare themselves kings, and claim land in their own name. This is a difficult path, however, as the great nobles of the land, with their long ancestors, not look to accept such upstarts. Such rulers need to be very careful in establishing a right to rule, or they may be set upon from all sides. It might be easier for an adventurer to pledge support to an existing king's rival. There are many such pretenders. Those who are born to the right family go around and start trouble, saying they have a better claim than the current king. If those claim holders can find supporters, they can easily start civil wars and perhaps even replace the king one day. Interesting where I can find the claim holders. Claim holders' life would be in danger in his own country, therefore they usually stay at rival courts, raising support and hoping to find someone to champion their cause. Usually hear news about some of them and may be able to tell you the location with some precision, but it'll ask for money. Yep. Good to know. Visit him if I want to do that someday. Caravan guard. Me and 6 of my mates are looking for a master. Join you for 1,120 dinars. Way out of my price range. Sorry, that sounds good, but I can't afford to hire any more men right now. Yep, sometimes you find like other people you can hire. A tavern keeper. Have you heard of any jobs? Well, Sultan is often looking for mercenaries, but the land's currently at peace. I have heard of Emir Hamazan has been worried about bands establishing a hideout in his area. You may want to speak with him. Emir Bilya at Sharwa Castle is asking for someone who might want work. Watch yourself with them. Guildmaster's often have tasks. Might find a guildmaster on the streets here. Can't pull up a min map, so I have to wander. Taught to this footman. Mind your manners. We'll have no trouble. There's a horse merchant. Townswoman. What's your trade? Make oil. If you can afford our oil, it's 100 uses, even for easing childbirth. It's life here. Times are hard, but we must count our blessings. Can you tell me about this town? And here she'll tell me what they produce. Bread, smoked fish, leatherwork tools, wool, cloth, pottery, oil, and spice. If you'd like to learn more, you can speak with our guildmaster. He's nearby, right over there. Yeah, he is who I'm looking for. Where is the guildmaster? Right over there could mean anywhere. It implies it might be like... There's a weaponsmith. Not who I'm looking for. Door to a shop. Armor. Carry water. They all say right over there. Useless. Give me actual directions. Where's the guildmaster? That's the arena. Cool. Somewhere in these streets I'll find the guildmaster. You can also wander at night and sometimes get attacked by bandits. There's the door outside. There's the door to the tavern. Ah, the guildmaster. Hello, stranger. You seem to be new to Shrees. I'm the guildmaster. How's trade around here? How does the wealth of this region compare? You can also set up productive enterprises. Overall, the wealthiest town in Karadia is known to be Halmar. Here in Shrees, we are poorer than 18 towns and richer than 3. So right now they're pretty poor. Towns become wealthier when they're at peace, and they get conquered, they become poorer, so that may go up if they remain at peace all enough. In terms of local industry, the most productive town is known to be Tyr. Here in Shrees, we produce more than 5 towns, so their production is a little higher than their wealth. Production is, of course, affected by the supply of raw materials as well as the overall prosperity of the town. The town of Darim is the richest in Karadia. The villages around here produce less than the around 7 towns and more than 14, so highly productive villages. Not highly, but in the upper third. In terms of trade, Shrees is believed to receive the most visits from caravans over the past month. So yeah, Shrees is a major trade center, even if it's not the wealthiest place. It's also the most dangerous place. We are less afflicted by bandits and raiders, more afflicted than 0 towns. So tons of raiders in this region, tons of trade. He's the leader of the good people. I can help you find a job if you're looking for some honest work. Sol Hakim rules. Hakim. I like the YouTuber Hakim, the leftist YouTuber. He owns the castle and sometimes resides there. So he's Iraqi, so I guess this is Iraqi named Sultan. Collects taxes. Regulate ourselves in most matters. As town guildmaster have the authority to decide these things. Do you have a job? Actually, I was looking for a liable man to kind of take an important mission. A group of bandits have kidnapped the daughter of a friend of mine. Is that the merchant? They're holding her for a ransom. My friend is ready to pay them. But oh no, someone else. But we still need someone to take the money to these rascals and bring the girl back to safety. The bandits are asking for 720 dinar ransom. I'll give you that money once you accept to take the quest. You have 15 days to take the money to bandits who'll be waiting near Bazek. They'll kill the girl if they don't get the money. We got 180 more dinars and I bring the girl back safely. This could be very dangerous, but we'll give this a shot. Probably not going to win the tournament at my current skill level, but where... It's in the kingdom of Vagirs? Near Kura. Whoa. That's on the other side of the map. Almost the exact opposite side of the map. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Let's just show the village on the map. Whoa. It's even further than Kura. Okay. Well, it's a trip. I guess I'll have to get around to that later. It's gonna be a difficult quest, but let's play without a little challenge. So, folks, I wish you all the best. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. May you always find a guiding star to lead you home. Until next time, this is Northstar. Adieu, and best luck to you all.